Okay. Think that's all up and running now. Just let me do a quick check. Make sure the mic is, yep, looks like it's all good. Get this started. So, Kell Brook made his return to the ring tonight. 7th round, knockout, Mark Deluca. Oh boy. Kell Brook looked a bit rusty. He did. And, to be expected. First fight back in well over a year. He just needed to warm into the fight. The first few rounds, cagey. Don't think the first few rounds were strange. Kell Brook, it was almost like he was trying to relearn things. It was like he was trying to get his nerves down, get composed. Once he got composed and got into it, yeah, he was leveled above Mark Deluca. If Kell Brook had gone in there and had struggled with Deluca, boy, he would have been he would have been in trouble. He would have been in trouble because he probably would have got through the fight, but he would have needed some serious, serious help going forward if he needed to struggle. So shout out, Kell Brook needs to retire. No, I don't think he does. Not right now, anyway. I don't think he does. It looks like that it looks likely he's going to face Liam Smith next. So him retiring, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Kell Brook still has a little bit left to give, but it just depends how hungry he is for the fights and how hungry he is. Kell Brook versus Liam Smith. Brook versus Smith. I mean, it's a decent fight. Liam Smith, I mean, fuck me. After he left Frank Warren and signed with Eddie Hearn, he had that show in Liverpool, wasn't it? When he fought, what was the guy's name he fought? It's Sam Egerton. When he fought Sam Egerton. And it seemed like Eddie Hearn was going to do some good work with Liam Smith. But damn, he's fighting on these, like, the zone shows. He's fought in Mexico on these DAZN shows. No one knows who he's fighting in 8-rounders. And when he was with Frank Warren, he was getting Canelo fights. He got a world title from Frank Warren. He got Jaime Munguia from Frank Warren. Like, Frank Warren, terrible, horrible man. But he's done a much better job on Liam Smith so far. With Liam Smith so far than Eddie Hearn has done. If Eddie Hearn can get Liam Smith the Kell Brook fighter, he can get that fight over the line, then, maybe different story. Maybe different story. I don't really know who I pick in that fight because Liam Smith at the highest level, when he stepped up to really world level, and you can put Liam Williams in there as well, I suppose now, he's either lost or he's had some shaky performances, like against Liam Williams. I think if he was to fight Liam Williams now, I'd probably make Liam Williams' favorite. I think Liam Williams is doing great things at middleweight. He really is. And he's part of the Ingle camp as well. He's doing great things, and yeah, part of the Ingle camp, and he's all of a sudden fighting a lot better. Yeah, you can ask questions about that, all right. But, Kell Brook versus Liam Smith, if Kell Brook has 70% left, 80% left, he should beat Liam Smith. I think he will anyway. I think he will. So, what's that comment say? Has Smith got a world title? Why would he want to fight him? Well, Eddie Hearn said it's going to be a final eliminator for a world title. So I guess that's the main reason why. If he wants a world title, he'll get a shot. And that WBO champion, whose name I can't actually remember. I'll go get him on BoxRec here. He's essentially looking like the weak link at 154 pounds. Just from the naked eye, he looks like the weak link at 154 pounds. Because given the fact you've got Charlo, you've got Jason Rosario, I think that's the guy who beat Williams. Patrick Terexia or something like that is how you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure. The guy, he's essentially looking likely like the weak link at 154 pounds. That's not to say he's a terrible fighter or anything like that. No. But, he doesn't appear to be that big a puncher. He was stopped. I remember that fight when he got stopped by Curtis Stevens. That was on the undercard of Canelo Khan. And he was brought in there as like a lamb to the slaughter for Curtis Stevens. It was about middleweight, to be fair. But, Curtis Stevens, he's nothing to write home about. So I think that's the route they're targeting. If they can get a fight with him, because there's talk of him fighting Spike O'Sullivan next. and I definitely pick Spike O'Sullivan over him. So it's hard to know. Like, it's just tough to work out. Umar, IFL Umar. Actually, let me check that poll I did in the community tab before I talk about that. Before I talk about that, I want to keep talking about Kell Brook anyway. So just give me a sec. I want to check my community tab because I put a poll on that, and I want to see who won. I want to see who came out on top in that poll. Okay, yeah, landslide, 65% for IFL Umar over Frank Warren raising pay-per-view prices. Okay, so we can talk about that. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Smith versus Charlo would be good. No, I think Charlo will win that fight. No, I don't think Smith would give Charlo much trouble at all, really, to be honest with you. I think he'd give a resistance, definitely, and I don't think Charlo's not as big a puncher as he makes himself out to be. Like, Charlo makes himself out to be this devastating puncher who can never take. I don't think he's necessarily that. I think Canelo Alvarez is proven to be a harder puncher. If you take Canelo's power, although Canelo wouldn't have been as strong at 154 pounds in terms of making all that weight, but definitely I think that, Smith versus Charlo. Charlo win that fight. Probably stop Liam Smith, but he probably stop him late. He probably stopped Liam Smith late. But in response, like, Kell Brook, he did what he needed to do. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. He did what he needed to do, and he got the win. That's the main thing. Like, if he hadn't got the win, or if he looked a bit shaky, then we'd be asking serious questions. We'd be asking serious questions. Kell Brook coming out, not on this channel. No way am I going to talk about that here. No way. I'll talk about Umar, IFL Umar, but no way am I going to talk about that. Hell no. We're not talking about that right here. If you want another question, you feel free to ask, but I ain't talking about that. Not here. No way. I actually want to go back and look at the 154-pound division, and just purely to see, because I'm not going to keep this live stream going too long. I'm just going to let it kind of, I don't want it to go too long because it's late enough in the night, and I want to do some other recordings as well. So I'm going to do maybe about 15 minutes, but I want to get back onto the 154-pound division. And just, if I was managing Kell Brook, or if I was matchmaking Kell Brook, who and where I'd be putting the fights with. So we've got Charlo number 1, Lara number 2. I think Lara's seen better days. So maybe, and Lara has a regular WBO or WBA title as far as I believe. So Lara's seen better days. Lara's definitely seen better days. Brian Castillo, or Cantino, I think he had a draw with Lara, if I'm not mistaken. Jesse Vargas, he really doesn't belong at that weight division. So I think he's moving down anyway. Rosario, he's rematching that guy, Julian Williams. They've got Sergio Garcia, European level fighter. So maybe if they want an interim fight, instead of going straight into a fight with Liam Smith, you could give him the Sergio Garcia fight. But yeah, Sergio Garcia, no. Lubin's a decent fighter. Williams, again, he's probably going to get a rematch with the other guy. Who else? Tony Harrison. Don't know what way he is now after getting knocked out by Charlo. I mean, Harrison's always been chinny. So you never know. Maybe Harrison actually be a decent fight for Kell Brook. Maybe that's a fight he'd relish because, like I said, the guy's always been a bit chinny, always been a bit fragile around the whiskers. So maybe they would look at getting a Tony Harrison fight next. Who knows? Kell versus the Brazilian. Kell versus the Brazilian would be good. Yeah, Patrick. I can't really pronounce his last name. I just don't try anymore at this stage. Like, I've been doing YouTube that long. I've seen that many names that I just can't pronounce that. When I just see them, I'm just like, if I can't pronounce it, rather than try and butcher it, I'm just like, the guy. Sort of way. I give him names. I'm just like, who I'm talking about. When I say, like, this Brazilian who fought that guy or this guy, who I'm talking about, rather than me going and naming it. Unless they have a nickname like King Tug or someone like that, then, we're good to go. We're good to go. Let's see what else we got. Everyone needs to stop being so downbeat on Kell. He's been out for 14 months. Tonight was fine. Yeah. No, it was. It was clockwork. Like he did what he needed to do. He went in there. He got the win. What I will say is that I just noticed from my end, Kell getting hit with shots that he normally wouldn't get hit with. I just wonder about the reflexes. If he'd gone in there, like I said in my post-fight review, and struggled against this guy, then I'd be really worried. I mean, I'd be asking a lot of questions, but he didn't. Right? He didn't struggle against Mark Deluca. Mark Deluca, very, very, very basic fighter. It has to be said. Kell didn't struggle against this guy. So Kell did just fine. He did exactly what he needed to do. And that was the most important thing. I was worried when I seen him this evening, though. Not necessarily when he was fighting, just when the fight started, because I was thinking to myself, I was like, Jesus, what if he looks horrific? What if he looks bad? And what if, the inactivity, the stuff we hear about Kell Brook outside the ring, what if that's all going to start catching up with him? Well, it didn't. And, Kell still looks like he's got something to give. He's got something to give. Lara still beats Kell hands down. How old is Ares and Andy Lara at this stage? Because Lara is getting up there in years. Has to be. Has to be, because Lara's been around for ages. 36, going on 37. I thought he was older than that, to be fair. Lara is one of those Cubans who I do believe, when they say their age is, 36, 37, I believe it. A lot of these Cuban heavyweights or Cuban fighters, they'll give like an age listed and you're just like, I'll retract that. I'll add a couple of years onto that. But Lara, I believe his age. I do. I believe Lara's age. Be an interesting fight, Lara versus Brook. Definitely be. I wouldn't mind seeing it now, to be honest. As I said, I think Lara has a regular WBA title. If you want to try and sell it as a world title fight, go right ahead. And he's a champion. I'm just taking a quick drink there. He's a champion who, he, like himself, like Kell Brook, has seen better days. So, I don't mind that fight. It'd be an interesting fight. What else do we have here? If Brook is a bigger name, he won't need Smith. He'll just take one big fight. Brook, I've always kind of seen Brook as being a somewhat big name. Sort of way. Like he's not like an Anthony Joshua level kind of guy, but he's definitely like Kell Brook's known. Like he's done pay-per-views before. I just think that the Amir Khan fight, if they'd have made that back a couple of years ago, I just don't know why Amir Khan never took that fight. And people can say like, oh, but it was Amir Khan who just would say these weird things about Brook, that Brook didn't want the fight when Brook was the guy, chased him halfway around the world. A bit like what Mayweather did to him. He did it to Kell Brook. It's crazy. Crazy. Let's have a look here. What else do we have? Rigo fighting tonight. Yes, he is. Guillermo Rigondeaux at 117 pounds. Guillermo Rigondeaux against that, I think, is it Laborio Saliso or something like that his name is pronounced? Yeah. I think Rigo should have been a bantamweight his whole career. It's a shame he wasn't. Laborio Salido, I think it's a Saliso or Salido. Oh, I don't even know how you pronounce it. Let's check him on BoxRec, because that is what I do. If I can't pronounce a fighter's name, I just look him up on BoxRec and try and word it out. But yeah, Rigo fighting tonight, fighting on the Russell Jr. undercard. Be interesting to see. Rigo looked old in his last fight. He really did. Although saying that, he's 39 years old, probably in his 40s now. Laborio Salisis. And I know Laborio Salisis because he fought James McDonald twice. Now, the last time they fought, the fight stopped after a round because of a clash of heads. It was unfortunate. But the fight before that, and I'll get it for you here. I'm trying to find it on BoxRec. The fight before that, he fought James McDonald. He fought him. No, actually, it was 3 rounds when the fight was stopped. But the fight before that, he fought James McDonald, fought him in Monaco in 2016. And if you've never seen that fight, go and watch it. You will see a robbery. And I'm not talking about, because someone was commenting on one of my earlier videos tonight saying that Galahad got robbed against Warrington. Galahad didn't get robbed against Warrington. That was a close fight. Laborio Salisa got robbed against Jane McDonnell. The scorecards in that fight, 115, 113, 116, 112, 117, 111, were horrific. They were absurd. Salise beat the living crap out of Jane McDonnell in that fight convincingly. So that's how I know him. He should have been, WBA champion 4 years earlier, but it is what it is. Those Monaco shows are very strange. There's some very strange decisions happen on them Monaco shows. I've seen it before. No doubt we'll see it again. No doubt we'll see it again. G-Man, any woman with you tonight? Nah, man. No, man. Like I said in my live stream yesterday, you got to look outside of Dublin for some nice girls. That's not to say that they're not there. I'm sure they are. But from what I've seen, you need to look out of Ireland, to be honest with you. As I've said, I've met girls from down the country, across the country. Lovely girls, and they are great. But they're too easy. Like I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. Guys with fucking nothing to their name, nothing to give, nothing, just idiots. And they just lap that up just because someone's loud. So, talked about that yesterday. I don't need to go back into it. Don't need to go back into that. You have a funny feeling he's going to go back down to 147. I really don't. I just don't see it. I think if he wants to give himself maybe a better chance, maybe against someone, I've got a video on Errol Spence coming out tomorrow. And I'll touch on that more in that video. So that'll go up tomorrow. But I think if Kell Brook's best weight is the weight he's at now. That's the best way I can describe it. Kell Brook's best weight is the weight he's at now. And I just can't. I just can't see him going back down to 154 pounds. I just don't think, or 147 pounds, I should say. I just don't think it makes any sense. I think Kell Brook needs to stay where he is. Can Brook beat Charlo? Right. If we're talking about Kell Brook 2015, 2016, I probably would pick him over Charlo. This Kell Brook, probably not. Okay, probably not. I think Charlo might be just a bit too big. I think Charlo, like Jamel Charlo, is it Jamal? No, Jamel Charlo is the 154. He's good. Don't get me wrong, he is. But I've never been, mad keen on the guy. I never thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. I think Jamal is better, the middleweight. But, I think at this stage now, yeah, he probably would be Kell Brook. But, Jamel Charlo is nothing to write home about. Definitely not anything to write home about. So, yeah, look, those are my thoughts. Those are kind of my thoughts. I want to keep this live stream short because I promised you. Oh, wait. I did promise that I would talk about IFL Umar. So I will. And the Umar IFL Umar thing. Okay. Now, I was actually so surprised about all this stuff coming out. Purely because me and Ade, when we met up in London last week, we were having just we were talking about YouTube. And, the more you grow, the more kind of little, idiots just tend to come up in the comment section and, leave comments on this, leave comments on that, stuff like that, stuff to that effect. Okay. We were talking about that last Saturday and we were saying if you take it too serious, it can be a bad thing. If you take it too serious. And we were saying Wingy from IFL, he took some of the things people said about him very serious and you don't need to do that. And we said that Umar, IFL Umar, he's just a different league. He just doesn't take anything seriously, and he's very good at his job, which he is. And then Sunday, I think it was Sunday, we see all these tweets that were shown from like 2016. And I mean, it's just like, what the fuck? We were only talking about how, good Umar is and this, that, and the other. And now when I say good Umar is, I mean in terms of like, just the job he does in IFL. I don't mean as a person. I've never met Umar Ahmed. I've never met him at all. So for those who don't know, Umar was tweeting about basically the Hillsborough disaster. Now I like football. I will watch it, but I'm not a historian about football and the Hillsborough disaster. I know of it, but I'm not 100% up in what exactly took place. I know it was in Hillsborough. I know it was a. I don't. I know it was. There was. I know what it was, right? I know like the whole incident in itself, and it caused the deaths of plenty of people. And Umar is essentially blaming Liverpool fans. He says in one of the tweets that was released in March, I think it's March 2016, he's saying that the Sun was right, yous are murderers. He's referring to the Liverpool fans. Oh boy. Yeah, he said other things as well. Yeah, it's not good. It's not nice to be saying those kind of things. And they even show some of the tweets he says about boxers. A tweet here from Tyson Fury where he was, just before he fought Klitschko in the rematch, and Umar commentated on it, and it says, "Far from the greatest, you crackhead. You know what? C word. I'll spell it. CUNT. Look, Umar was what, 16, 17 when he said those things. And I'm not giving him a pass or anything like that. But people say dumb shit when they're young. People do dumb shit when they're young. I still do. I've never said anything like that or tweeted anything like that because I'm not that sort of person. I wouldn't tweet things or say things like that. But in terms of just silly things where I should have known better, I still do that shit now. I still do dumb shit now when I just look back and think, I really shouldn't have done that. Or I really should have known better. Everyone makes mistakes at the end of the day. And yeah, look, Umar, it's not nice what he said. The guy's only 21 years old. He was 17 when he done them things. And I'm not excusing it, but I think maybe people, I don't want to say they're overreacting, no, but I just don't know. I don't think he should lose his job over it. And it doesn't say he's been let go from IFL as of yet, but I don't think he should lose his job over it. And like I said, look at me. I'm 26, and I still do dumb stuff all the time. Like just before Christmas, I'm not going to go into detail of what this was, and it wasn't anything serious or anything like that. Nothing like that. Nothing like to do with anything major. But there was a thing that I done something before Christmas, actually to do with someone at work, and I just remember thinking, you know what? I really should have known better. I really should have known better, and it was what it was. Not going to go in depth on it. But stuff like that. We all make mistakes. We all do. So, and I like Umar. He's a good interviewer. He's very good at that. So yeah, in terms of what I have coming tomorrow, I'm gonna do a review of the fights in the morning. I'm gonna do probably a review of both fights. So the Gary Russell fight and the King Tug fight. I'm just very wary of doing Showtime reviews because I've got copyrighted off them before. They're the only TV network that have ever copyrighted this channel, and that was for the Wilder fight when he fought Brazil. Was it? Yeah, Brazil. So I'm wary about doing reviews for Showtimes. That's why I kind of said after that fight that, it's like me and Showtime. Showtime don't want me reviewing their fight. Fine, they can have their fights. I'll take the rest of the network. There's more on there anyway. So, it's a fair trade. But I want to review these fights. IFL, G-Man. Yeah, Umar IFL. But yeah, as I said, Showtime can have their little fights. I'll take the rest of the networks. There's plenty more over there that's on Showtime these days. So, it's a fair trade. But if I'll try and do the reviews tomorrow. As I said, I'm just wary about doing Showtime reviews because they've not been exactly kind to me in the past. In the past, anyway. Fox have been perfect. No complaints. But I think that's why. See, Showtime, you'll find it very hard to find coverage of the fight. That's one of the reasons why, actually, as well. I'm not going to guarantee that I'll get a review out of those fights in the morning because it can be very hard to find because they take that shit down quick. So if you have something on Daily Motion, or on YouTube or anything like that, they take that shit down quick. So it can be very hard to actually find footage of the fight. Oh, would I work for them? Mate, I would absolutely bite Coogan's hand off for the opportunity to work for IFL. I would love to. I would love, mate, if I could get something in the world of journalism or with someone like IFL or Boxing Social, just even doing the odd interview, not even on a full-time basis, if I could get anything like that just through YouTube, I would. If I had to relocate to London, I'm already thinking of relocating to London anyway. If I had to relocate to the UK, well, I'd probably take London over any other county, but I would just bite Rob Tebber, Cook and Castian's hand off. I'd love to work for IFL. It'd be fucking amazing. I mean, like, not that IFL would watch any of my videos. Like, I have a decent sized channel, but it's still quite small, in the grand scheme of things. Growing every day. Growing every day. I'm at 1,000. I'm basically at 1,600 subscribers. Basically. So growing every day, but yeah, I would work for IFL. I would bite Cougan Cassius's hand off. I'd take pay cuts. I wouldn't give a shit. I literally would not give two flying fucks. I would work for IFL in an instant. Seriously. Seriously, I'd work for IFL in an instant. Wouldn't give two fucks. If it was less money or whatever it was, I'd just be, I'd be gone. Straight over there. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this. I'm gonna try and get this just over the half-hour mark. Over the half-hour mark. So IFL actually, like, Wingy is gone from IFL. We don't have Wingy, and Umar, God knows what's happening to him. I would not be. Do you know what I think it is, right? I don't necessarily think they'll fire Umar, but I think he'll leave by his own accord. And a lot of times when someone leaves by their own accord, it's more so because they've been, asked to leave rather than fired. Because sometimes it's like, sometimes you can, even if they're in the wrong, and I've seen this happen before, even if they're in the wrong, sometimes firing them is just a bad reflection on you. So even if they've done something silly and they're in the wrong, just getting them to leave. Just getting them to leave. So that's what it says. I'd be great on IFL. Shout out, man. Thank you. On it, who else would you get? Well, definitely I get me. I would get Mark if he'd be up for it from Unrivaled Boxing Talk. I don't know if he'd do something like that, but I'd definitely get him on it because he knows the stuff. And of course I get Ade on it, but I think I think he wants to do his own channel, but I'm sure Ade would go for Boxing Social because I never asked him about that. I never asked him would he, but if he was on IFL, I would go for IFL in a heartbeat. Like, but definitely me. I get myself on it 100%. Shout out if anyone knows Coogan, show him this video, show him a couple of the interviews that I've done, show my interview with Ade. Shout out to Coogan. But yeah, no, I'd love to go to IFL. It'd be amazing. Be crazy. Be crazy. What else do we have? G-Man for IFL, make it happen. Yeah. Someone share this to Coogan. Someone get this video out to Coogan. Let him see it. let Coogan see it. Let him see the interviews. And I want to get more interviews because there's actually going to be some show. There is actually going to be shows on in Ireland. I didn't think there'd be any on this year. There's going to be one on in May, and I'm hoping a few of my mates are going to be on it. So if they are on it, I'll get a few interviews with them. They're not exactly big names necessarily, but spam Coogan hashtag IFLG man. Oh, please, like, go on. I will actually put that in the community tab. Actually, wait there. That is like going in the chat, and I'm putting that on my community tab as well as going on the channel. So anyone will see that hashtag IFLG man. I'm putting that on the community tab. Give me a sec there. There we go. So that's on my community tab now. So anyone comes to the channel, they see that hashtag IFLG man. Please, that'd be unreal. That'd be amazing. That would be absolutely incredible. And I definitely give it. I wouldn't even think about it. That's the problem. Like, I'd probably end up like shortchanging myself because I would go for IFL or something like that in a second. And I take, like I'm saying it here, I take a pay cut. I don't give a shit. Like I'd relocate and all that. I'd probably end up like losing out on something, maybe a better deal. But sometimes you got to do that. Like I'm someone who I will walk, like I will go to it. I've done it. Like I've been really, really unhappy in jobs in the past, and I've been on, I wouldn't say decent money, but good money you can live off. And I've left them jobs to go on to less paying jobs just because I've been so unhappy in that environment. Seriously, like that's sometimes you got to do it. So you got to do what you got to do, man. And even if I was on less money and I was away from home, I wouldn't give a shit. Like, because that'd be a dream. Be absolutely, that'd be a dream to go on IFL or something like that. That's the main reason why I do YouTube. Like, I don't make much money from this. I'm like very little money. You couldn't live off it. But that's why I upload so much. That's why I love doing this, because I'm thinking, where will it lead? Could it lead somewhere? Could it lead to an IFL? Could it lead to a boxing social? Could it lead to something over here if boxing ever got a bit big again, doing some journalism or something like that? That's why I do what I do. I don't do it for pay or acclaim. None of my friends know I do this, so I don't do it for attention or anything like that. If you're talking to someone, if you're talking to me, if you know me in real life, fuck all of my friends know that I do this. So I don't look for any attention or acclaim. I just love boxing. I just want to try and get myself in there. So that's why I make these. That's why I try and do videos every day. That's why I've got videos in the pipeline for tomorrow. I've got them in the pipeline for next week. I record like 3-4 videos a night and I upload them over the week. So I keep going. And my goal is for the month of February to do a video every day. So as it stands now, I've done a video every day this month, and the goal is to get at least one. All right, something, me, I get between sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, but the goal is to get at least a video out a day between now until the end of the month. So like this is a leap year. So like the first Sunday is like the 1st of March, and I'll definitely get videos out on the 1st of March too, because there's a fight night that night. So that's my thoughts on this. Okay, so we've just gone over the half-hour mark. I'm actually going to leave this live stream here. I'm going to end it because I'm pretty tired and I want to go watch a film because it's nearly midnight. I think I was going to do some recording, may still do some recording, but I might leave the rest of it until morning because there's a good light in my house, so I can still get away with recording in the daytime. But I want to go watch a movie, and then I'm going to just go to bed, basically. So that's my night in a nutshell. That's why I need to get a better social life. Because it's Saturday night, it's midnight, I'm going to watch a film and then go to bed, basically. So crazy night ahead. Thanks, people, for passing by the channel. I appreciate all the support, everything. I love doing these live streams. Love making content for you guys. Appreciate it all. Peace out, and I'll talk to you.